Thanks, Chairman. Look, I don't have a problem with the bill, Minister, but what I'm sort of at a loss to know is what miraculous inspiration is the CIF going to do by registering with them that's going to save everyone from maybe buying bed blocks or buying bed timber or whatever. I just cannot buy that or understand that part. And the second part that I'm trying to fathom in it, you might be able to address these later when you get a chance. Is there a fee? Because, there is battles going on at the moment with the state where, be it on price or be it on quality of work done, on certain things, that companies would have been members of the CIF. But that didn't solve the problem of the battle that had to go on after it. And I'm just wondering what part of the jigsaw are they miraculously going to cover that is going to save the industry from, say, bad workmanship or whatever. And the minute you become a member of the CIF, I know the certain rates for workers and all of that, and no one has a problem with that. But ironically enough, if you go in and do work for the council, you don't have to be a member of the CIF at all. That's unusual. If you go doing work for them on the side of the road or whatever, that doesn't seem to come in at all. We want to make sure that houses are built properly. In my opinion, there's one very simple way, that you have product liability. And if there was product liability for the poor devils in Mayo and Donegal and Sligo and Clare and all these other places, if there was product liability from the companies that had it, the taxpayers of this country wouldn't be forking out to the tune that they're forking out. And that's the reality of it. Because it's scandalous that the company that supplied the gear to most of them places is able to get away scot-free, and it's the taxpayers of Ireland that's paying for it. That shouldn't be acceptable. So I'm going to leave that one at that, Minister. I don't have a problem with it. The one part, though, when you're talking about building houses, and I see there it's all reference houses or whatever. If you want to build houses, you need to have an old quarry to get a bit of sand and get concrete and get the different things you need. And at the moment, Minister, as you are well aware, and I know you might be working on some parts of it, but this substitute consent and these great people that decided to bring Ireland or bring everyone to court to try and block every bit of quarries in Ireland, like everyone is shouting for houses at the moment, and they think that they're going to go up in the air without concrete and without sand and without blocks and without everything that you need. And like one and one don't make two that way. It doesn't add up. And people need to get a bit real in this country, that right around what we are doing at the moment is we are walking into the hands of basically a certain amount of quarries going to control this country if we don't cop on. And there was a substitute consent brought out and for the people that went in early, Minister, into that to comply with the law, they are still caught in a quagmire. And if you had waited to about the 100th application, you moved on because it was simplified after that. But the first people were caught in a logjam. And if you don't solve that, what you are doing is the roadstones and all of these big conglomerates are smiling. And we have put it into a system at the moment that the small person in a quarry, be it in Mayo or be it in Leitrim or be it in Louth or be it wherever, that might have 1 or 2 lorries or 3 lorries that would be covered in a small area. I guarantee you, if you're not a member of certain groups in this country, you're going to either have an environmentalist objecting to you or someone else objecting to you. And that's unacceptable. And like, you're a minister at the moment in environment, and we are hammering out money at the moment on roads. Have a look at asphalt prices, what they have gone over the last few years. How many people can do it? How many people is allowed to do it? How many objections is put in to anyone trying to build an asphalt plant around Ireland at the moment? There's about 5 or 6 places that try to put up asphalt plants that might give a bit of competition. And funnily enough, there's one company able to try and object to them all. To be interesting to look at what they do for a living, and maybe an odd environmentalist with them. And I think, Minister, we're cutting ourselves as politicians for price for book if we're blocking it through legislation. In my opinion, there's a complete cartel going on at the moment for where councils has to try and tinder to get the roads done, because what's going on at the moment, in my opinion, is scandalous. And it would be interesting for you and for anyone to just take a look at what's going on in objections the minute someone tries to put up an asphalt plant or a tar plant or do anything around this country, because it's blocked, and funnily enough there isn't too many at it or being able to go. So I think that we are hemorrhaging money that way. Yes, in regulation we need the best of regulation, no one denies that, Minister. And then we have certain state bodies that, you know, you have to get your ABP has to give you your planning, and that's fine. You have to go through all the procedures. But why would you have to wait for certain licences 2 years or 3 years? Why would you have to wait for some licences even though you got your planning? There's other licences behind it. Why are some people held up longer than others? I think the whole system is rotten to the core of what's going on in this country. And if we don't sort out the quarry, the material beside of it, we won't build houses. And everyone is turning a blind eye to what I'm talking about. And civil servants haven't a clue how to solve it. More legislation and more paperwork and more everything. But you know what we've done? We've brought ourselves into a quagmire, and we've left ourselves as a country at the moment that's trying to nearly stop work going ahead. And I would ask you, Minister, what I have talked about this evening, to look at what I have said, because I'll tell you, if we keep going on this road, we'll only have a few certain suppliers left in the country. The government will pay through the nose. You can give 40 million to a county for roads. Have a look at what the roads programme done last year per kilometre to what it had done 3 or 4 years ago, what it had done 8 years ago. Have a look at it. And that'll soon show you where money is going, buck per mile. Because I'll tell you, what I have looked at, it's rotten. Thank you.